was the best sports video game. And I got to say, this has been one of the most requested for us to do, especially by a lot of people I send these brackets to. They kept asking, and you know what? It took me a while to compile the actual list, but I decided I'm going to make a list of 64. I tried to first keep it to the 4 major American sports, being, football, basketball, baseball, and hockey. And then I was like, you know what? We have a lot of European viewers, and a lot of people in America love soccer. Got to throw that in there. I love boxing. Threw it in there. And then I just, that kept expanding to tennis, to golf. It was basically everything but wrestling and racing, because I didn't want to throw those in there. So, Jim, have you looked at these results yet?
I don't typically look at the results. I like to surprise myself when I get here.
That's just code for doesn't do any prep. Yeah, exactly.
I've got nothing.
So, number 1.
Hey, it's a good beer.
You know what? Since it's 32, we're going to do the reverse. We'll go from 10 to 1.
Okay.
Be goddamn professional.
Build some suspense?
Yes. Number 10, NFL Blitz. What you think about that?
Fine by me. I kind of think maybe that would have been a little higher, but just because of how huge the Blitz franchise was in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah. No, it's a great... and it's
arcade staples ported everywhere.
Yeah. Number 9, Madden NFL 2004.
The most notorious Madden. Up there with probably the 93 engine.
Yeah.
Just because Mike Vick was a god in it.
That game was... I have always said I've never been huge into sports games. I actually had this one, and I even loved the hell out of it. Because my only reference before this was my brother kicking my ass in the Genesis games. So somehow I ended up getting this one, and I was like, wow, this is really fun. I felt like that was everyone we know's college experience of playing this competitively with their friends.
Oh, yeah. Man, high school for us.
Number 8, Blades of Steel.
I'm fine with that.
Oh, yeah. I knew it would be high.
I think if any NES ones are up there, that should definitely be the one to be up there.
I think there's a couple other NES ones.
Ice hockey's good.
Yeah.
But, if I was going to have one of them be in the top 10, it would be Blades of Steel, probably.
Yeah, and after replaying it, it's fun. Because we played it, and I think we both thought it was going to be better than it was. Not saying it was bad.
Right.
But I remember, other than getting into the fights, the actual playing was a little rough. Still fun, though. Not shitting on it. The next one, admittedly, never played it before, was NBA Street Volume 2. However,
I never really played the Street series that much.
It's just at my Goodwill. Got it for $2.
Oh, there you go.
So have it on a PS2. So Jim and I are going to play through that, and we'll see how it is.
Yeah. I remember NBA Street being popular.
Oh, yeah. There was the NFL Street Series and the NBA. Was there MLB or NHL?
Not really.
Yeah.
They had their versions of Blitz, but they never had a Street one, really.
Oh, it's a shame. Number 6, Madden 97.
That's surprising to me.
Not to me because of all the Genesis ones. For the Madden, that's the one I always remember people liking the most.
That was the first good one on PlayStation, wasn't it?
Yes. Because I'm trying to think. I think for the Genesis, it was 93 to...
I think it went up to... that was from 90 to 96 or something.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. I always confuse the Madden and the NHL series on the Genesis.
I think they both went to 96.
Yeah. No, but the Madden 97 on the PlayStation, that was another one.
I do remember that my cousin had it, and I was like, holy crap, what a step up in graphics.
I just remember... This was one, brother got it, even though we shared a PlayStation at the time. And all I knew is I loved doing the shotgun and just big bombs. And I forget which team I was, but it worked every time. Pissed my brother off to no end. Number 5, and this one shocked me because I thought it would actually be higher, is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. This game, along with the first one, revolutionized Tony Hawk and skateboarding. Every asshole, including me, thought we could go out and try to do some skateboarding tricks. Couldn't do them for shit, but sold a lot of skateboards, and you didn't think you could have that much fun with a skateboarding game.
Yeah, number 1 was such a massive hit, and then number 2 just perfected everything.
Yeah.
And then, I guess, arguably 3 was the last, really good one.
Yeah, but 2 was just that,
2 is almost perfection.
Yeah, exactly. And when I was doing research for this list to keep it down to 64 entries, I was amazed how many big, I even think like ESPN had this as the best sports game of all time.
I can see that.
So I was torn. I actually went back and forth with Jim. Should I even put it in the list? Is it really a sport? There was a lot of that talk going on. Definitely have skill, but either way, I was like, okay.
X Games have been around long enough at this point. I think it's fine.
Yeah. But I expected that to actually be higher. But not to say the top 4 are bad at all.
I mean, you can switch any of these in spots, really.
Yeah. So number 4, NHL 94. That was without question everyone's favorite NHL game.
From the 16-bit days, yeah.
Even
further. It's still a lot of people's favorite of all time.
Yeah, and this was single-handedly the first game I think I broke a Sega Genesis controller on. My brother did the goddamn wraparound move. You go around the back of the net, and you score on the goalie, and it's unstoppable because it's a glitch in the game. And stupid me, I didn't play enough Genesis. He would always like giggle and be like,
"You're trying to do one-timers left and right."
I'm trying to do actual, you take it up to the net. No. My brother just kept doing it, and I, it was probably, how old was I at that time? I was...
You were like 6 or 8.
I was 8. So my brother was 12 or 13, and he just kept doing it. And he would be like one of the worst teams, but it didn't matter because he knew that trick. So it drove me crazy, and I remember just smashing the controller, and he yelled for my mom. So.
Oh, you with some rage. What a surprise.
Number 3 is Punch-Out!, which
this one, you could argue whether or not this one is a real sport game, because you can argue if it's really a real boxing game, too.
Yeah, I know. I've heard that saying. Like, people call it, it's really kind of like a puzzle game.
Yeah.
It's a pattern game.
It's like Simon.
But everyone thinks of it as, it's a boxing game,
I mean, I'm fine with it being that.
Yeah, put away the mechanics. What I will say is, this game is stupid fun, but as far as like a level of in-depth strategy or whatnot, it's lacking compared to a lot of these other games. So I'm shocked it's this high. And that game wasn't 2-player, right?
No.
Yeah, so that amazed me too. I thought 2-player games were a cinch for this list, but people love Punch-Out!, and for a damn good reason. It's one of the most memorable NES games, and definitely NES boxing games there are. So,
oh yeah,
no shocker there. Number 2, NBA Jam. Was there any doubt that was going to be in the top 5?
I definitely thought this was going to be up there.
Yeah, undoubtedly the best basketball game. If you're trying to go simulation and you like the newer ones, we get that. But for fun and just, once again, it brought people who may or may not like basketball into the fold. Once you got on fire and did that goddamn dunk, the over-exaggerated announcers, he's on fire. Like, it's just so many things I love. The big head mode.
It's got a charming character for days.
That one, I think it was the tournament edition or something that had, you could be Scorpion and who's the other secret characters?
I forget.
But yeah.
Wasn't like Bill Clinton a secret character?
Yeah, him and Hillary, I think, were actually.
Jesus.
So, love that. Expected it to be this high, but number 1.
This one I thought for sure was going to be the shoo-in, but I kind of underrated NBA Jam, but it makes sense that that's such a close number 2.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at the lines, it's like almost exact. But it's Tecmo Super Bowl.
Tecmo Super Bowl, baby. And
people still they update the rosters to this day to it.
And we've talked about this game many, many times. When Jim and I, played through all the NES football games. I think almost all of the 16-bit games, right?
I know we haven't reviewed them, but we did play through them.
Yeah, and
before we burn out.
I mean, it's just so goddamn clear cut. And we just talked about some of the more modern ones that are in this top 10. But Tecmo Super Bowl, I don't care if you like football or not. Play this. It doesn't take a genius to learn the plays really quick, and you're just gonna have stupid fun. The cutscenes, the music, the easy control. I mean,
when we went to too many games, half the floor of the gaming room was still a tournament for Tecmo Super Bowl.
Yeah, and that's
in 2018, like 30 years later.
Yeah, so that is, I think, and as according to our fans, without doubt, the best sports video game of all time. So,
What did you have as your number one?
Tecmo Super Bowl. It came down to that and NBA Jam. What'd you have, Jim?
You're going to hate me.
All right. So if I'm thinking Jackass Jim,
Jackass Jim, how dare you, sir?
I'm going to say you're going to say something stupid like Hot Shots Golf. Is it Hot Shots Golf?
It's Hot Shots Golf.
God damn it, Jim. Let your shitty nostalgia get out the window. Accept the fact that it's nowhere.
It's not even that nostalgic. Like 10 years ago.
I'm saying you have nostalgia for it.
Right.
Yeah. I'm saying
And my number 2 is Mutant League Hockey.
that's fine. That's at least more understandable than goddamn Hot Shots, goddamn golf. Where is that on this list, Jim?
It wasn't high.
Let's see.
It was not high.
Mutant League Football is number 23. Oh, wait, you said hockey.
Yeah.
Mutant League Hockey is number 40.
Oof.
And,
Hot Shots Golf 4, number 49.
49.
Man, good thing my first place put it above a few.
Yeah, your first place put it just above Baseball Stars, and it's still under Baseball Simulator 1000. And Bases Lows above that. A lot of the baseball games are...
You talk nostalgia with this stupid...
So, one thing I wanted to point out, it drives me crazy, and I knew putting it in there I thought it would be high, but Wii Sports is number 11.
It was a system seller.
I'm so happy it didn't make the top 10 because it was a system seller, but it was just so gimmicky.
Fun.
It was fun for the first, 5 times you played it, and then every asshole, like Jim, was, staying at home in his boxers just learning, I can do the perfect bowl by going like this.
Actually, I never perfected that.
And it's one of those games, like I said, it's especially when it came out, it was you were drunk, or if you had family over for Christmas. Yeah, it was, everyone could come and play, but, it wore off, and you never played it by yourself. And if you did, that's bad.
Hi.
So, maybe that'll be an overrated, underrated game in the future, Jim.
That'll be a great overrated, underrated.
Yeah, sure will. I won't give away
That's right.
my
Sure,
opinion.
I'm really curious to see what you're going to say.
So I'll round out and just say what the bottom 5 were. Starting with number 60 was Tecmo NBA Basketball. Of the basketball games I put on here, it doesn't shock me that's the lowest. We didn't even think that game was that great, but it's very well remembered and very, a lot of people like it. Number 61, Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2004. I'm not shocked at all because we don't have, I think, a ton of fans that are big golf fans, but this is regarded as hardcore golf fans' favorite game. 62, the entry Jim said I had to put in here because it would get so many votes.
I'm shocked that this is so low.
Sensible Soccer.
We have a shitload of UK followers and Twitter followers, and they're always like, "Well, sensible soccer." So I get him to put it on here. I forget what we kicked off for it. Doesn't matter. But so we put it on here, and it's third from last.
It got 16 votes total.
Barely a sport.
So I don't know what it is. I saw the screenshots. That's
I've
as
never
far as I
played it.
went. It's a soccer game. 63 was a game I struggled to put on there, but I wanted more variety than just baseball and football games. So I threw in Greatest Heavyweights from the Sega Genesis.
That's a good game.
And you know what? I never played it before we went to that.
Too many games.
And Jim and I, it was one of the free stations opened. That game was really fun, and it was really intense.
Yeah, it's an update of Evander Holyfield's boxing. It just put all the all-timers in there for the roster.
And it was we didn't know what the hell we were doing, and it was still just a cool, intense. And anyway, it's just an all-around solid boxing game. And then 64, Top Spin Tennis 4.
What?
Not shocked, but of the popular tennis games, that's one of the more popular new ones. So either way, was there anything on this list, Jim, you were shocked wasn't higher, or?
I would have to go with Sensible Soccer. I'm actually surprised Rocket League is only in the middle.
Yeah, but honestly, that game is fun, but it's not as well known as half of these, and most of these type of lists are.
I would argue it's more well known than 90% of these games.
It's well known by people 15 and under, Jim. Let's put it that way. And this list is all about people who are going to build their nostalgia into this. And let's face it, most of the people that watch us are older. and
True.
they're going to go with games they grew up with. So stop playing.
I'm trying to find
goddamn
the brackets.
And
I don't want to use Facebook, which we never post on. That would be way easier. Use my brain. Use my brain.
So either way, we love how we had about a little under 2,700 votes. It was huge.
Yeah.
We thank you guys, and expect. I don't want to give it completely away because I haven't fully decided, but there will be many more video game ones, our 64 entries, because the categories are going to get a whole lot tougher for us. So, anything else you want to say before we go?
Nah, I'm pretty good on this one.
Okay.